All right. Hello and welcome. We're going to be starting up the stream here in just a second. And we're going to be coming back to Battletech. It's been quite a while since I've played, and yeah, we're coming back to it. So, those of you that don't know, there was a convention, Paradox Con, that was last weekend, and I was there, and I had the good fortune to get up on the the tournament stage, I guess. The tournament stage to play Battletech. There was a challenge they did at the booth, and I got first place. I was the only one out of all of the competitors that was able to defeat the challenge all the way through. More or less, they scored you off of how far you could get along, and I was the only one that was able to do the whole challenge in the time allotted. It was a time-limited thing as well. And as a result, during the Paradox stream, you may have seen my match, you may not have. And if you didn't see it, they did put it up. Hairbrain Schemes, I believe, put it up, or there's a battle. I saw the link to the VOD up on Twitter, and I watched the VOD itself of me playing the challenge. So pretty interesting stuff. And as a result of winning that, I have some stuff here. So I got the Battletech shirt that I'm wearing. I got a Battletech hat. I got a Battletech mug. I have a couple of these. I bought one from the merch store. So this is for the new DLC that's coming out. There's greens on it that you guys probably can't really see because of the green screen behind me. They're probably all taken out by the chroma key, but it is what it is. So we're all Battleteched up and we're ready to go. Now, because I won this challenge, I figure with this stream, we're going to challenge ourselves further. And this is something I've always kind of wanted to do, and that is to play through the career mode with the limitation that I can't go any higher than a medium mech as far as the weight classes go. So mostly light and medium mechs is what we're going to be doing. So it's kind of a challenge, and I want to see how well we can do, especially in the late game. Early game won't be too difficult because that's where you're at in the early game anyway. You're going to start with lighter and medium mechs anyway. So throughout the course of this challenge, the way this is going to work, if ever I salvage a heavier mech, whether intentionally or unintentionally, I immediately have to sell it as soon as I am able to. Cannot use it, have to get rid of it. So that is the idea behind this, and I can only use light and medium mechs. Otherwise, more or less able to do what we will. Probably try and do some other things just to experience a little different outcomes in the career mode. But let's hop over the capture mode and get going here. Now, as far as the my placement with the camera, I will probably move that around based off the interface, but I'm going to play that by ear, as this is the first time I'm using, well, actually even a face cam with Battletech coverage. So, I feel like, oh, that's my mouse. I was going to say, I feel like I'm picking something up as my mouse. Never mind. All right, so we're going to be starting up a new career mode here. All right, so I do want to have randomized starting mechs. That sounds good for me. This stream is a little earlier than I normally go to, but we're going to have some setup anyway, so we'll go with that. Parts for mech assembly, I think I'm going to go to 5. I want it to be a little bit more difficult to assemble a mech. I think as high as it goes is maybe, yeah, it's 8. We'll go 5, kind of a middle ground. 3 is the default, and I think also the lowest setting. I want to go a little higher than that, just to, we're probably not going to need it as much, so it's not too much of a limitation. Iron Man mode on. Okay, unequipped mechs. When this setting is enabled, new mechs you acquire through salvage will not come with equipped weapons or components. That's fine with me. Iron Man mode, I guess we could do. As I'm doing a stream anyway. I'll think about that one. I'll come back to that one because I just don't want to have like a crash screw me over or something, but I have a feeling it's going to auto-save me a lot. At least I think that's how it's going to work. But I also want to be able to stop at any time. So, you know, we were probably going to go about 4 hours for a stream. I want to be able to stop whenever I want and pick back up whenever I want as well. So I think you're going to be able to do that with Iron Man. If it doesn't work out, we can always restart it. Let's just read what it says here. Iron Man mode restricts you to only one save file. That's fine. All consequences, including mech loss, mech warrior death, and failed missions are permanent. Running out of funds or failing any priority mission will result in career loss. This setting is intended for veterans and those seeking a significant challenge. All right, we'll go with Iron Man mode. We'll see how that goes. Enemy force, I'm going to keep normal because we're already challenging ourselves quite a bit anyway. Mech destruction, how does this one work? Usually there's a pop-up. Healer. We have to select it first. Really giving me a pop-up for this one. I'm not 100% on how this one works. Oh well. We'll turn it off because that's the default. Salvage, normal, that's fine with me. Lethality. Oh, okay, maybe I just had the mouse in the wrong spot. Ah, okay. When active, the setting will cause any mech disabled by destruction of its center torso to be lost permanently. Yeah, I'm not into that. Mostly because it makes salvage all the more harder. Lethality, when the setting is enabled, mech warriors that are incapacitated in combat will always be killed. No, I want there to be a chance that they're not necessarily always killed. Let's see. Advanced mech warriors. In the later parts of the game, new mech warriors and the hiring hall often have better stats and skills than the early parts of the game. Modify the setting to change the frequency of new mech warriors, having the improvements. Normal's fine with me. This setting controls the amount of C-bills paid by contracts. Again, normal's fine with me. Mech warrior progression. Again, normal's fine with me. No rare salvage. I'm going to go with that because this is probably going to be the one thing that we're going to need to bolster our squad. So we've got a total multiplier of 0.85, which seems to be pretty high. I don't really pay too much mind to this kind of stuff anyway, but let's go with that. Start game. We're going to have some other selections, I think, that we need to make. Maybe. We should have some customization stuff, right? I do have this installed on my SSD to try and help with the load times, but loading times do tend to be a little bit on the long side with this game. There we go. There's our customization. My head will probably cover up a little bit of this stuff, but it'll be fine. So we just have the stats over here. The only thing you probably can't see is probably tactics clearly, and guts is the bottom thing. So, okay. So first thing, we want to edit name and appearance. My call sign is going to be Mouse. Oh, Mouse. First name, Mouse. Last name, Gunner. There we go. We are a he. Let's see. Which face do you want to have? Because normally you start with a face and then you can kind of customize it as you need. This is probably kind of close to the way I look. Perhaps. Customize it now. And I don't really wear makeup, but sure, we'll go with that. Tattoos. This is mostly going to be... Yeah, I don't know. We're not going to... Got a few choices here. It has definitely been a while played, but tattoo 1 is fine. Scar, we don't have any scars on our face. Hairstyle. Can't really see my hair right now because I've got a hat on, but let's see what we can get here. Probably, honestly, the hairstyle that it had already, fine. Although, if I'm honest with myself, it's starting to become more of this. I still have some hair on top, though, so we're not quite to that extreme yet. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Probably good. We've got a full beard. Not quite that full. Trying to go through all the options here. This is fine. Okay, expression. See what kind of expressions we can have here. Ooh. Determined. Smirky. Kind of like expression 8. That works for me. Complexion. Go through this. What is it at? 2? 2 is probably fine. Clothing. Probably good. Lighting. I don't really need anything funky there. Alright, what angle do we want the camera to be looking at us? Decker's not dead yet, I see. We'll just go with that. That's fine. I mean, this is kind of vaguely... I don't think I have purple eyes, though. Let's go with something a little bit more normal-ish. Skin color's fine. Lips. Yeah, I think all this is fine. We'll save that on up. So let's just make sure. Name's all good. Looks kind of like me. Alright, let's save that on up. Alright, decades ago, the family came to the reach from... I'm going to do something a little bit different. Because we're doing like this challenge where we're trying to go with lighter mechs, I think it's kind of appropriate that we go with the Capellans here. So we'll go with them. And then my family... Some of this affects your starting stats, I believe. Family died in an accident. Your family went bankrupt. Your family was betrayed. You were exiled. Betrayed. Get a lot of gunnery skill. Mainly what we're going to be going for here. Probably, yeah, family died in an accident's fine. And then, what were we before? I want to emphasize probably, for my own character, piloting and gunnery. Here's for your mercenary. Guard. This background, yeah, it's going to have some effects, but mostly what we're looking for. Okay, so that would do with it. And honestly, the Solaris Gladiator would do it too. Let's go ahead and go with the Solaris Gladiator. I think that's pretty good. Alright, so we're more or less ready to go. So we've got +1 piloting, +1 guts, and +1 gunnery. So, yeah, the only thing that we're a little lacking on is tactics. But we're not going to probably be the main scout. We'll see. With the challenge that I'm doing here, we're going to have a little bit different mech warrior composition than normal. Okay, mercenaries career, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do stuff. Good. Alright, let's see what mechs they're going to start us with, just so we can go from there.
Check out this mech bay, Commander. Pretty great, right?
Alright, so we've got an Enforcer.
Like there's nothing I can't do.
A Vindicator. Commando, 2 Commandos. Both the 1B variant. And a Spider. Alright, that's not necessarily the greatest start, but it's not terrible either. Commanders are not bad. I prefer the other variant to this one. Vindicator is a pretty solid mech in the early game. The Enforcer is going to be somewhat challenging to use. It's got the mobility that we're going to want, but I'm a little worried about the firepower. It'll be probably okay in the early game, but we're more than likely going to want to upgrade this guy as soon as we can. Alright, so it's not a bad start. Let's take a look at our mech warriors. You should be the same standard that you usually get. Oh no, never mind. I guess this gets randomized as well. So we've got my own character. I've got a little bit of experience to upgrade some things. What else we got? Okay, so Freak is going to be our next most experienced pilot, probably.
Awaiting orders.
Polecat's kind of eh.
Waiting for orders.
Stargazer is pretty much the same.
Commander. Ready.
And then yeah, so you three aren't so great. Freak is going to be our more experienced. Okay. What's their backgrounds? He's got a lot of attributes here. He's athletic, criminal, merchant, periphery, spacer, and Tarian. Okay. Petty criminal, smuggler.
Receiving you.
We may have some problems with the law, perhaps. You don't really have anything really going on with you.
Let's do this.
Stargazer. He's dependable. That's not too bad.
Yes, Commander.
What about you? Athletic. So we got a couple guys with athletic. That's not too bad. All right. Let's take a look at the contracts and the system we're currently in. We'll figure out where we are in a second, too. Kind of want to look at that as well to see where we're at. All right, so we're definitely in a system that the Capellans care about because there's a lot of contracts with them. We have a pirate contract and just a normal civilian contract. We obviously want to get an alliance with somebody, so doing contracts that help along that line is nice. I never ever was able to do the black market thing because I usually would beat up on the pirates. So I don't know. We'll see about that. All right, let's take a look where we are on the star map. Yeah. All right, so we're starting kind of in between the space area here. All right, cool. So we could get into Capella in space fairly easily. All right, not too bad. We do want to customize our company. I like to do that. All right, so what icon do we want to do? The color scheme I usually go with is yellow and black. And I also want to change the name from Mouse's Marauders. I'm going to keep the mouse part. But I want it to be kind of following along with what our challenge is. So I'm going to call it Mouse's Light Cavalry. At least that's the... I hope I'm spelling that right. You know what? I'm going to spell check myself. Spelling is not really one of my... All right. I was doing it right. I just had to second guess myself for some weird reason. Okay, Cavalry. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So yellow and black, that would be okay for yellow and black, but maybe we could get something with a horse on it, right? We're going to go for that. So if it's not yellow and black, that's fine with me. Something with a horse, that's what I'm looking for predominantly. And if we don't get that, that's okay. Go for something else. There's one. That's a horse. We'll look for something else, though, too. Or something that feels like it's appropriate, perhaps. But if we go with this one, I'm gonna want to do the paint scheme along with the logo. A lot of logos to choose from. Oh, you know what? The wings wouldn't be bad either. Something with wings. So there's this choice here. A little bit more colorful, and it goes with the yellow paint scheme. These are kind of wings as well. I mean, you could at least argue. It's like a spear with wings, perhaps. This is more like an angelic, perhaps. Let's see if there's anything else with wings, because it's possible I missed it. Like, we could do something that's bird-like as well. You could argue this is possibly wings here. This logo. So it's more crescent moon kind of thing. That's definitely a wing. Kind of bland paint scheme, though. I like having something nice and colorful. Let's see what else we got. So a horse or something with wings, I think, is what we're going to go. The horse, it looks okay, but I'm a little worried that it's kind of bland on the color scheme. Again, you could argue these are wings, but that's kind of stylistic. There you go. Kind of a bird motif there. There's another thing with wing. We're more than likely going to use jump jets, so I kind of like that idea. So with this, it'd be like kind of like blues. That might be a little too plain, but our primary would be like that color, perhaps. See what else we got. Yeah, see, it's kind of like a muted, like maybe even a grayish color rather than bluish. It's like a bluish grayish color. And then the stripes, I'd say, are blue, and then we've got like a black. So let's take a look at how this looks, and if we don't like it, then we can always choose something else. So like a grayish color. Maybe something like that, although I'd like it to be... maybe like that would be our primary. Our secondary would be like a blue. Like that. And then the accent color would be black. Something like that. Now, we don't get the full extent of that, necessarily, seeing exactly how it looks. That's one version of what we could do. Oops, I have my chat covered up. I apologize. But it's cavalry, though. Now... Cavalry. Oh, you might be right. What did I type in? Shoot. Cavalry. Oh yeah, you're right. What is wrong with me? Yeah. Apologize, my chat was covered up. Alright, cool. Yeah, I missed the L is in the wrong place. You're right. There we go. Cavalry. All right. So that's one color choice. Other than that, this is kind of like a beige color with orange. You could argue that's white. So we'd have a primary white and then orange. Wherever that may be on the color scheme. Maybe more of that. And then our third color is not really too determined. Okay, and then our third choice of like what kind of like stood out to me was more a yellow. So it's like orange, yellow, white. Let's take a look at that. So orange would be our primary. And then I'd probably do white as our secondary and yellow as the kind of accent color. If I were to follow along with this. Ooh, what about this color? Interesting, but I don't know. Maybe that color? What? Yeah. It'd be more like this. And honestly, this is probably the color I would have gone with if I were doing that other one. So white, orange, and then yellowish as an accent. Like that. Kind of like that. Again, there's going to be different designs than what we're seeing here. I'm not sure if we can cycle this kind of stuff or not. We'll go with that. We can always change it later. Okay, let's go back to the mech bay. Oh, this color is pretty extreme. I like it though. Yeah, and I like some color. I like how that looks. That looks okay. That looks okay. I like that. Not sure sold on the Enforcer. Let's see what else we got. That's not too bad. I like that one. All right, cool. I think we're more or less good. Let's go with the contracts now. So which contracts do we want to do? This stage of the game. All right, escorts are going to be kind of difficult because you have to worry about defending. Let's stick with the half skulls for now because we have an absolute ton of contracts here. Okay. Also, high-paying jobs would be nice. Ambush convoy. Destroy base. Capture base. What about our full skull ones? So we've got mopping up. There's a battle. Kind of looking for more of the battles, honestly. So I might go with this contract first. It's pretty good paying, but it's also a straight-up battle. Let's see what it has to say, though. Commander, we're trying to safely transport injured personnel to one of our facilities on the current planet. Unfortunately, satellite surveillance has shown pirate units operating in the region we're expecting to move our medical convoy through. We need a mercenary lance to sweep the area and eliminate any pirate units. So it's going to be against pirates. They're going to hurt pirate relations. Please think of this contract as a mission of mercy. Okay. Mission of mercy, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I think we can handle a one skull. Let's see what we got. Let's at least negotiate it. So salvage is going to be pretty important in the early game. But we're probably going to get salvage from some of the other contracts. So let's see what we can do by moving these around. So 2 and 9. Having 2 choices as opposed to just 1 might actually be worth the cost or the amount of money reduction. One thing I'm curious, though, about is what does the other salvage look like? This is actually the worst salvage, except for this one. So I think we just worry about the money and not so much the salvage itself. So I'm going to go 1-5 here. Try and get more money out of this one. We'll get 3 relations with the Capellans and lose 2 with the pirates. It's going to be hard not to beat up on the pirates. We kind of have to do that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and accept this contract. All right. So it's 1 skull. I definitely think we're going to go with... typically speaking, I move my slower mechs first, right? I move my faster and my slower. Usually I think I move my faster ones later. It's a little while since I've played, so we're gonna have to try and remember some of the tactics and stuff that I use. In this case, I would almost rather have the commander just have the firepower, the raw firepower going on over the spider, which just has a couple medium lasers. Mobility could be good, but I don't know if I have a pilot that could really take advantage of that too much at this stage of the game. So yeah, let's go ahead and go with my pilot. Who would be the more important one here? I mean, honestly, the secondary pilot... Oh, I haven't leveled myself up. Whoops. That would have been an insight. Okie dokie. So piloting and gunnery is where it's at. Now I eventually want to get ace pilot. That's my overall goal. But multi-target is also something I value very highly in the attacker type role that we're going to be taking. So either thing is going to be good. I think I'm going to go with the piloting here. And then probably a level in gunnery as well, just to get that up. Tactics is probably going to be a secondary or even tertiary concern. Guts will be important for keeping us cool later, but the mechs that we have right now are really not all that hot running, so problem. All right.
Mech warrior training.
Now we're good to go. All right, let's go back to the contracts. We're gonna have to negotiate stuff. All right, negotiate that. Okay. Enforcer there, indicator there, and then the 2 command. If one of the commandos gets damaged, we've got the spider to take its place, so it wouldn't be too much of a problem. All right, so this guy's still probably maybe arguably better than me, but I've got the better gunnery skills. So the question is, who would benefit? Like, what would we benefit more? So max damage here is 115. Max damage here is 120, and so in theory we have more damage with the enforcer. Go ahead and put myself there. Put Freak and the Vindicator, and then it's kind of a toss-up between the others. I'm more than likely going to value piloting and tactics. I do need some scouts, so more than likely one of these 2, or technically one of these 3, would be the one that I'd want to get there. So go ahead and get Polecat and Stargazer in here. Come on, Stargazer. All right, that'll do. Let's deploy. So 1 skull, we've got 1 thing. I think we can manage that okay. And I will move myself, just I need to make sure exactly where I want to put myself from the interface and everything. How do you go? I meant to say hello earlier. Apologize for that. All right, here we go.
Command interface initiated.
Nice simple battle mission to start everything off. All right, this area is where the pirate units were spotted. Move forward until you make contact and clear them out. Good hunting, Commander.
Oh, now I could get used to a place like this.
Alrighty. Go ahead and just start being somewhat aggressive. This early in the game, it's going to be hard to have a lot of strategy because my pilots just don't have...
Enemy detected.
Oh. Maybe we're a little too aggressive. They're going to be right up in my face already. Jump over here.
Behold, I take flight.
Alright. I want the commandos to do a little bit of flanking if they can. So I'm going to have them sprint over here
Moving
into
out.
the woods. I should have checked how close we were. Looks like the enemy's kind of spread out, which I'm fine with. I don't actually know how many mechs they're going to have. They could have 4. They might also be beat up, so this is probably going to be fairly easy. Okay, at least 3. That might be it. Alright, let me select the mech, just so that I've got the interface up, and then I'll think about where I'm going to put myself. Maybe just raise myself up. Right there. Slightly down. There. That'll do. And if that looks weird to you guys, I apologize. We'll work it out. I don't think it's going to cover anything up at this point. Okie dokie. So I kind of want to focus on one opponent and kind of go from there. But the way that they're spread out, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull that off too easily.
I live to serve.
Freak here is probably going to have to jump to be even able to see anything. Yeah, I think I'll start. Freak.
Affirmative.
And we'll go from there. It's going to be kind of hard to hit this guy. I'll go ahead and give it a go. Why not?
Affirmative.
Not a whole lot of damage there. Pretty good damage reduction on their part as well. So we know there's a Jenner. Jenner's a pretty good mech.
Yes, Commander.
You know, we might be able to pile on damage to just to the Jenner. Maybe ignore the guy on our flank. Fire away.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Yeah, and again, we don't really have to worry too much about heat with our mechs. I mean,
Yes, boss.
I don't really want to be out in the open, but I also want to get good movement going. Doesn't look like I can see my opponent over there. We could do a more aggressive move and then just make sure to move this mech first thing on our next turn. We keep him kind of far back. That would help protect him a little bit. Keep him moving, give him a little bit of evasion. I mean, we're getting hits even though they're low chance, so you can't complain with that too much.
Engaging jump jets.
Okay, so we don't have a lot of AC-10 ammo, but I don't think we'll probably need it.
Engaging target.
Doesn't help if you miss all of your shots, though. Alright, well, it's a start.
No damage detected.
So this mech's moving first. Not likely going to do anything unless it's got LRMs or something. I don't want to keep this guy out in the open, so we're going to go ahead and move. Just looking to get into good cover here. Maybe if I move to here, yeah, we'll be able to get more shots off.
Moving to position.
Actually like this paint scheme. Looks alright. We could use a precision strike, knock them down into initiative. Granted, we're not really doing a heck of a lot of damage here. Let's save it.
Taking the shot.
Oh, we didn't touch them. That's unfortunate.
Damn it.
So the Jenner's going to be the one that moves the last. Okay, we've got a commando. We still don't know what that is over there. Ouch. That's a mech we already have to repair because it's got into the kernels there.
Awaiting orders.
I could move around this way and try and snipe this mech and just hope that the Jenner can't get around on me. Which side did that hit me? Right torso. If we keep our right side that way, I'm not likely going to be able to hit me any. Might be able to get in behind me, which would be unideal, but... Okay, it's another commando, but this one's a 2D.
Firing all weapons.
Alright. I'm sure going after my commandos, huh? Oh, there is a fourth mech, okay. LRMs. That speaks of a locust. Alright, freak.
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, this guy is dead now. That is just too good of an opportunity to pass up. Can't get the thing that I want to get in. Is there a way I can do this? I mean, honestly, I want them to attack my Vindicator, not some of the other thing. What's the deal here? Why are we having such a hard time hitting this guy? Range should be ideal. Probably just our terrible gunnery skill at the moment. We could go with the precision strike, but I honestly want to save that in case this does not get a kill. But now that I'm looking at it, let's have my mech go. I'm gonna try and get relatively close here. Just precision strike it up. Fortunately, I'm hitting the wrong side here, but I think I'm just gonna go left torso, see if we can knock out some of its weapons if we don't knock it out entirely.
Engaging target.
Alright, that helps. Knock out some weapon systems and knock it down. Should be able to follow this up with a kill, I think, a little bit more easily now.
Detected.
The Vindicator. I want them to hit the Vindicators over the Commandos, so I might just stay put rather than move around too much. Yeah, it's still a really difficult shot. Could be just because, yeah. We have a chance of hitting the other leg. Let's go after that.
Locked and loaded. Here it comes.
Fortunately, the PPC missed. We needed that to hit if we had any chance of killing him.
I think I hit something good.
We have a chance to follow up on that. Interesting they're going after the Enforcer.
Reporting.
Not really a way for me to stay in cover and get the shot off, and I definitely did want to stay in cover
Standing by.
for that mech. We could be very aggressive here and just go after the Jenner trying to knock it out. It's a good time to try and knock out the Commando too, but I think the Jenner is the right move. Go after that leg again.
Firing.
Oh, we blew up a torso section, not really what we were going for.
Something good.
Yeah. Okay.
Reporting. Heavy damage.
Receiving you.
And if I keep my right side away,
Confirmed.
I'm just going to go ahead and try for this Jenner kill. Left leg again, even though I don't think it's going to land.
10-4.
Okay, we did get the leg.
Mech destroyed.
Thankfully, no internal.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander.
Alrighty. Freak is starting to... Honestly, I think we just stay put. Go after the Commandos. That's going to be the easiest one to hit. LRMs are just not really in good range. Is that better? Possibly.
Moving to position.
Well, not possibly, for sure.
Acknowledged.
See, that's what we need. If the PPC lands, it's good stuff.
Take that.
Granted, the same thing is true about our AC-10. Now, this is where I wish I had multi-target, because I would go after this guy with the small laser, or maybe that guy with the small... I mean, I'd go after somebody with a small laser here, but right now, because we don't have multi-target, we're actually better off staying back. Although, the chance to hit is not all that different, so I'm actually going to move up. We're going to try and take out this commander that has no movement. Might get a kill here. Good stuff. Got that large laser right where we needed it.
Enemy mech destroyed.
We got a leg kill on the Jenner, which may get us more parts. Granted, we don't get very many parts because I actually went down on salvage. Okay, that hurts.
That shot got past my armor.
Alright.
Yes,
So this commando really has to back off.
moving out.
Matter of fact, we may be in trouble. How much health do we have? Oh, we have 5 hit points in our center torso. Well, that could be bad. We may actually lose this mech if we're very unlucky.
Firing all weapons.
Because this guy should be able to hit me. It just depends on whether he goes after me or not. No, he's going to come in here. Are you going to do a melee attack on me, Focused? Not really the wisest move. You do 15 damage, and you have no machine guns because you're the 1M variant. We'll probably melee strike him back.
Awaiting orders.
Just get in here. That's the side that's already damaged, right? Yeah.
10-4.
I'm probably going to do a precision strike here. This is not a bad shot, and we don't do terrible damage. Sure, we'll just go for that torso section.
Wilco.
And anyway, I want to be able to have a chance to have follow-ups. And now we've knocked him down to initiative to the point where we get plenty of follow-ups. Alright, my mech is just going to go ahead and melee strike the Locust, hopefully hitting.
Engaging physical attack.
Yeah, it's dead. Knock its arm off for good measure with the small laser.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Alright, so there's just one enemy left, and it's possible we'll get the kill now. Stay put and attack. Actually, no. I'll move over slightly.
Acknowledged.
Let's go for the leg again.
May I interest you in smelting armor?
We didn't get it, but he's dead.
Hope we can
Not
sell.
amount of damage on a already armored down mech. Pretty good. Alright, all the pirate units have been eliminated, and Liao can start moving their people through the area.
Mission successful.
Okay. That's our first mission successful. That's good to see. You know, I didn't even go to the store to see if there was one on this one, but that's okay. We get some cash. We are going to have to do some repairs, unfortunately, on probably both of our commandos. I think so. Yeah, one there, one there. So those two will be out for the foreseeable future. So, okay. All right. So we did manage to get potentially 3 Jenner parts. No, 2 Jenner parts. I really do want that, but let's look through the rest of the salvage. Yeah, let's go for the Jenner part. Now, we need 5 parts with the way that we have our settings, so this isn't necessarily going to be easy to put together, but hey, we get a little bit further along. We also got a Commando 1B, which unfortunately is the commandos we already have, but a couple medium lasers help as well. So much need cash as well. We'll take a look at the store in a little bit. Who knows, maybe they sell Jenner parts. don't think we're going to be able to afford enough to get a full Jenner, but... Alright, let's take a look at the store while we're at it. Okay, we have blackjack parts. Alright. We only have 3 of them, though, so we're not going to be able to buy a full blackjack anyway, and not only that, we can't afford it. Anything else jump out at us as being really special? Ooh. Okay. So, I didn't really see a lot of the Urban Warfare DLC. There's going to be some things in here that I'm not as familiar with. So, X1 AP equipment. So, area sensor lock. This prototype electronic warfare component recreates the capabilities of the Battletech Beagle active probe. When active, the probe forms a sensor lock against all enemies within its radius before entering a cooldown state. This component cannot be mounted along with the ECM component, which we see the ECM. Alright, cool. This I got to try out a little bit, but it does give you missile defense. Wait. Friendly units within its ECM field gain missile defense and receive +4 bonus against missiles plus immunity to indirect fire. So it's like a little bit of a defensive field, more or less, you have to stay in. Very expensive, though. Nothing else really jumps out at me. Go to our bay. Go to components. So really all we have right now in the bank is medium lasers. This is why getting more salvage is really going to be worth it for us, because it's going to allow us to do a lot of customization. Alright, let's go ahead and do our repairs. It's going to take 1 day and 600 C-bills, which is not too bad. And this is going to be 3 days and 10,000 C-bills. That's a little bit more problematic. So we'll probably have to advance a day. We'll be using the spider for our next mission. It's a little bit of a replacement for the one we lost, but 1 day is going to have to be spent for that. Go to our mech warriors, see if we have anybody to level up. We should. 1,000 experience is enough to level some things up. I'm going to save points for myself. As multi-target, I think would be pretty nice to get early. If we can.
I await your command.
Freak I may bump here.
Mech warrior training complete.
Awaiting orders.
I do eventually need somebody
Let's do this.
to be good at sensor type stuff. So getting sensor lock is going to be very valuable. It's kind of hard for us to take advantage of it at the moment, but
Good to go. Yes, boss?
you could also hire a pilot specifically to get better sensor skills. Like feedback wouldn't necessarily be a bad one to pick up. We can't afford this person. Not we can't afford it. We don't have enough MRB rating yet. So feedback might not be a bad pickup if we want to get a little bit more experience. But for right now, let's just go ahead and use what we've got. So,
Receiving you.
Polecat, I'd like maybe you to work towards that. I mean, honestly, Polecat and Stargazer, I'll probably work towards that. I really like that. Probably do the same thing with Stargazer. Start getting them in an area where we may eventually be able to get them up to get sensor lock.
Training confirmed, Commander.
The gunnery skill is going to be pretty important, I think. All right.
Commander?
In the next mission, we may use Woodhen just to like get more experience into that person, but honestly, getting certain skills early is also going to be pretty important. All right, let's just go back to the contracts. I would like to knock out battles and stuff. Now, we're not going to do anything yet because we have to advance a little bit of time, but what would be the next contract we want to take? Again, I'd like to do battles because I honestly think that they are better. This is going to go against House Liao, which would just hurt the relationship we just garnered. This is going against House Liao as well. Pays very well, though. Very good salvage as well. What else we got? Ambush convoy, destroy base, capture base. Capture base. That's a travel contract, though, and beyond what we'd want to do. All right. I honestly think we probably go with either destroy base or escort. Probably the escort mission, but let's give ourselves a little bit of time here. So, oh, good. Get our commando back, so we've got a full lance of 4. We just double check on that. Okay, good to go. Go back to the contracts. So yeah, I think we're gonna do the escort mission. That's what I'm leaning towards. Pretty good salvage from this one, so I might lean more towards the salvage this time during negotiations. So 3 choices in 15. Now that's probably a little too far, honestly. 211 is decent. If we go 315, there might not even be 15 bits of salvage. If we think about how many opponents we may have, it may only be 3 or 4 mechs that are on the lighter side of things. Might not be that much salvage. I think on our last mission we wouldn't have had 15. Hard to say, but I don't think that. Alright. That's good for me. Go ahead and accept this contract. Get our mechs together. So we just need the spider in here. It doesn't really matter which of these 2 pilots we pick, because they're both equally skilled. Okay. So, Enforcer, Vindicator, Commando, Spider. Alright. Good to go. Let's deploy. I'm not the biggest fan of like the Enforcer this early in the game, but the damage output of an AC-10 this early, especially on mechs that don't have full armor, is going to be very devastating if it ever lands. The problem is, do I have the gunnery skill to take advantage of it? Not sure I do. That's probably why we may go with the priority with that first. Get the multi-target so we can get best advantage of the weapons loadout of the Enforcer in the first place, because you can't really use a small laser in the AC-10 at the same time as effectively, because there is a minimum range to the AC-10. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. No, actually, no, wait. AC-10 doesn't have a minimum range. I think of AC-5. That's right. My apologies. Has indeed been a while. It's AC-5 that has a minimum of 3. Alright, we have friendly units under fire. Move to the position and provide support. Get them to safety and keep them intact. And get it out of there when it's done. Alright. Get moving here. Yeah, I'm fine with a sprint. Enemy may be fairly close here. To get there jumping. Alright, I'm gonna jump here. Just jump. There I go.
Acknowledged.
Mando can come up with me in the woods.
Roger that.
Fighters are very, very fast. I'm going to use the jump jets.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Problem is they're very low armor and firepower is not necessarily the greatest. They should be in sensor range once I jump here.
Enemy detected.
Look, Mom, I'm flying.
Circle around here. I usually like to reserve and kind of wait for my opponent. Especially as we're not going to get a lot of evasion. I think moving the commander where I did was maybe a mistake. Moving behind this ridge. I don't think they'll be able to see me. Maybe they will. It's sometimes hard to judge a line of sight unless you're really familiar with the map. Now if this guy sees me, it's a little bit of a problem. Alright, we're good. Is it just the one mech? Here's a maybe.
Yes, Commander.
Obviously do want to see him. Stargazer, you're in the spider, right?
Let's do this.
Jump to here.
Engaging jump jets.
Till we get sensor lock, we're just gonna have to poke through these guys. Evasion. With not the best
Alpha strike.
gunnery skills, so it's gonna be tough to hit things, especially as they're lighter mechs. They're smaller, harder to hit.
Orders.
I mean, don't really have a lot of choice here where to move. Should move up.
Moving to position.
Fire away. Try and burn through the last of the evasion.
Copy that.
And hopefully my mechs with a little bit better
Standing by.
damage output. Move in and mop up.
Got it.
DPC needs the land. Tough.
Engaging jump jets.
Okay, that was a little overkill, but we got him. So yeah, I did make a tactical error in that previous match just because I was
Enemy mech
getting mixed up on
destroyed.
an AC-10 and whether or not it had minimum range, which it clearly does not. Alright, the thing we need to do when we're doing this escort mission is we have to guess on where the escort's going to happen and kind of like meet it along the way. If I were to guess, we're going to follow... Oh, they know. Where would it go? Really sure, because it's kind of a smaller map. Problem is the Enforcer's not really that fast of a mech, so if we get too far behind, it may be difficult to keep up. But I'm just doing the best I can.
Engaging jump jets.
I'm not 100% sure where we're going to end up being, so...
Jumping.
Because it's not that big of a map. Alright, we do have to go around with the command.
Good
This
to
map
go.
is a little tricky for the commando. I'm going to use sprinting here because we're going to like really overheat with that spider if we don't watch it.
Confirmed.
Oh yeah, I can't sprint it, so...
Up high.
For the moment, I am very much guessing which way we have to go. Let's start with Stargazer
going?
here,
Commander.
actually. Up there.
Affirmative.
Location
All right.
confirmed.
Get in there and start this thing up. Looks like you secured the convoy, and they are making their way towards the extraction point now. Keep them alive. Keep in mind that the convoy will stay near you for protection. Continue advancing to get them to the extraction point. Alright, looks like they are headed this way, so I am faced kind of the right way. Looks like sprinting is going to get me further along. This is where you start running into that problem where many of our mechs are really not that fast.
On the move.
So the spider will be able to keep up with them, but it's going to be the only thing that can keep up with them. I'm going to do a normal walk, just so we don't get too far ahead.
Move order received.
Or they don't get too far ahead, the rest of my mechs. Alright. See if we can speed them along. And for those of you that may be newer to this game, spacebar will speed up animations. You can turn that on by default if you like, but I like to have the animations on every so often to get that cinematic feel, but when we want to move things along, just spacebar to do so. All right, we're going to try and keep up with them. Spreading along.
I'm walking here.
Yeah, I think the commander will be able to get out in front of them. Definitely the spider will be able to. Not a lot of cover in this area, though.
Got it.
This might be one of the situations where we don't see enemy until the lost side of our battle mech escorts. What are you talking about? There's a battle mech right there. Currently obligated to stick with the convoy, Commander. Can't be proceeded without our lance's support. Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a weird message because I'm literally right on top of them. The commando. That might mean a couple of them won't move. Yeah, see, these two didn't move, and that they didn't move because they thought, oh, you're too far away. I've never really been able to figure out exactly how the AI works. Because, I mean, how far away was I from them? 2 spaces? And somehow that wasn't good enough? We may have a little bit of a difficulty. Sometimes that happens where a couple mechs will get left behind a little bit because they're, I mean, not mechs, vehicles, because they're like, oh, I didn't have an escort. And then they're like a turn behind the others. We'll see. I don't remember there used to be a message, though, saying you... See, look at that. I don't even know what that was. I guess they were like, oh, you blocked my way.
Engaging
So I'm going to have to
jump
keep the Vindicator probably like right where it is for the most part. Just to make sure these guys move, because they're like... Their AI is kind of... with me. Do a normal move. Keep more defended. I think my spider's getting a little too far ahead. So I'm actually going to have it back up a bit. We can keep these guys going. These vehicles are going to be way out ahead of these two. This one didn't move yet again. I don't really know why. I'm seriously standing right next to it. It's possible that this one's blocking the way because it's kind of a restricted path, but I'm just going to have to babysit them, I guess, until they get going. It's one of the reasons why I oftentimes don't want to do escort missions, because it can be really frustrating with the AI at times.
Moving out.
And this is exactly what I don't want, having my lance being very split up. Because more than likely we're going to have the enemy come in as soon as this guy breaks this plane. So as soon as that happens, which may not happen this turn, but next turn, we're going to have to deal with enemy. And look how spread out my squad is. And if this guy doesn't move, I'm going to be very confused. Finally, he moves. I have to believe that that's what it was. The other vehicle was blocking his way, so he just didn't move at all. Which is kind of weird, but... What happened?
Engaging jump jets.
Vindicator, we're just going to have walk up right behind buddy. Okay, we don't want to be in this area because the landing craft is going to land and kill anything that's in that area. Just move up there.
Roger that.
Where these guys move. We could purposely stay back, not move with them, but fine. Alright, this should do it. There's the enemy. Okay, more contacts on the centers, Commander. Looks like they're sending in units to hunt and destroy our employer's people.
Good work, Commander. Hold this position until the package is underway.
Now, this one didn't move for some weird reason. Yeah. The escort, the vehicles you got to escort, their AI is sometimes very frustrating to deal with. I mean, it is what it is. Fortunately, the Panther can see it. Oh, no, not quite. We can see them, but they can't see us. Is that what's going on right now? All right, I'm going to go ahead and reserve. This guy, I think, will leave this turn. After this turn, I mean. Okay, I don't think the enemy sees. This guy is moving this turn. Don't know why it didn't move last turn. Okay. We don't have to kill the enemy either. We don't want to. Or we may not have much of a choice with how far behind this one is. We're going to have multiple turns to protect it, so probably about as many turns as it would take us to like fight these guys. Oh, there is an attack here. That's probably a striker, more than likely.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, again, there's not a whole lot of cover here, so I'm just going to try and get as much evasion as I can. We'll try and burn through this guy's evasion if we can. We could jump closer to him just to, like, you know, get in there and get a little bit better accuracy, but it's really not that much of a difference. I guess I'll go for it. We're not getting any extra evasion because his skills aren't good enough to get that evasion.
On it.
We missed, but that's not too surprising.
Negative damage. Repeat.
Maybe want to kill that
Negative
striker
damage.
too.
Orders.
Go up with the commando. Yeah, see, much easier to hit the striker because it doesn't have a lot of evasion. Now, if I were to use precision strike on this guy, how much better would my accuracy be? Not all that much better. Just go ahead and fire. Well, we hit with something. Look how far back I am. I can't really even do anything. I'm that far back. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Where's my Vindicator? Clear back there. I think, like, it kind of jumped my turn, too. I'm not sure if I got to go with these guys last turn, which actually is exasperating this issue.
Engaging jump jets.
I should have sprinted. That was actually a mistake. Oh well.
I'm here.
If I jump, can I get in range?
On the move. Full speed.
May be difficult to actually keep these vehicles alive. Thankfully that missed. Guess they don't leave. I think that all four of them may have to be in there. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Well, you're probably what's giving vision. If we can take that out, that'd be nice.
Yes.
Spider should always be the one that needs to go first here. We'll walk up here. Go ahead and try and get...
Coordinates received.
I mean, ideally I kill the striker here, but... Galleons, a couple Galleons. 60%, that's not too bad. It'll get better. Still missed. Yeah, Vindicator's very slow, yeah. And, hello, Stormy.
Commander.
I mean, I guess we might as well move up. Get good evasion as much as we can. So 60, 60, 50. Have to do. I really hope these guys are going to be in range next turn, or when they go, because I kind of really need them to hit because they have our higher damage potential.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
I honestly think if our AC-10 lands on that Panther, it might really hurt. Good enough point. I think the Galleons only have medium lasers, so I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to get in here. God damn it. And that's all because the AI bugged out on us. So we're not going to get our bonus of having every vehicle come in. Hopefully we can prevent them from killing any more.
Orders?
Okay.
Engaging jump jets.
I might be in the way of the other AI too. Yeah, Murphy's Law. Alright, this time I think we use a precision strike. And PPC is going to be in the right arm. Let's go after the right torso.
Engaging target.
Okay, we got rid of the left arm, which doesn't really do a whole lot for us.
Enemy mech. Critical damage.
Follow up with the
detected.
Vindicator may help. Probably be in range. Ah, man.
I'm ready.
I really hope we don't end up failing this mission. But it is what it is. We're on Iron Man mode, so what happens, happens. Whiff that hard. Oh well. Get in there. They're still not going to leave this turn because that guy's way too far behind. They still have the Striker, which may be able to finish off the other wheeled APC. I think we're going to fail. I honestly do. Like, I don't think I can kill all these guys by next turn. And if it just takes them a couple attacks to do it. Yeah, I think we're maybe screwed, but we'll do what we can. I'd like to finish off the,
Good to go.
if not finish it off, at least damage it to the point where it's not going to really do a whole lot.
Copy that.
You get a shot on each enemy. Oh, you're right. I forgot. That's how that works, isn't it? If you attack them, it distracts them. Thank you, Stormy, for saying that. I actually forgot about that mechanic. Let's go after the Striker then. Thank you for reminding me that. I forgot how that's how the AI works. Is they go after the objective until you distract them. So we've already attacked the Panther plenty. They might get one more APC, although I think they can survive maybe the one attack. Fortunately, they don't have multi-target, so I can't really distract both these guys, but maybe. Let's go after this one. No, you're right. That is exactly how that works. I just forgot about it because it's been a while since I played it. Oh, that guy's dead, so we don't have to really worry about it. But this guy may get an attack on us.
Enemy vehicle
It depends. I think the
destroyed.
Panther moves first. Yeah, Panther's going to move first, and it's going to attack me. Thankfully, it missed. All right, yeah, okay. We'll be able to pull this out then. All right, that's cool. Guess we might as well use jump jets to get as close as we can. We're definitely going to have to go after the Galleon just to knock that out before it gets a chance. We'll just precision strike it to be doubly sure.
Engaging target.
It's dead, but I just wanted to make sure. We're not going to leave it up in the fate.
Enemy unit destroyed.
All right, good. They're out. Well, this is a good point to make a lot of our mistakes too.
Waiting for orders.
We're still early in the campaign. All right. I honestly might be able to finish the Striker because I did, I think, pretty good damage to it. Give it a try.
Affirmative.
Not with a shot like that. I almost thought that was going to hit the spider. One after the commando.
The objective is secured, Commander.
Hey. We didn't get the bonus, but that's okay. Alright. Have Polecat go first. I'd like to get that evasion up. Yeah, we're good. You're right, you gotta stay positive sometimes. Especially with this game. Let's go Precision Strike. I want to knock him down in initiative. Go for the kill, go for the right torso. Let's get rid of that weapon. Fortunately, I did not achieve that.
Receiving you.
I think we can get away with the jump here. Again, I want to attack from the one side, though. Kind of keep that damage focused. It's one of the keys that I'll always put out there to this game. Keeping your damage focused. If you can get it left to right side, you know.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Unfortunately, we're not getting our accuracy up because it's still early in the campaign. Sadly, the PPC was still active. I was trying to knock that sucker out, but it just did not land. Well, we got to make him pay now. Honestly, we might have been able to get the kill if I had gone after the other side, frankly, but...
All weapons committed.
Dead now. Just unfortunately now we got to repair a mech that we really didn't have to repair before.
They will be done.
Probably gonna have to walk here just because of the heat buildup.
On my way.
Might not be able to knock him out. PPC really needs to land. No, unfortunately not. But we want to try and mitigate what damage we're gonna eat here. Thankfully that was close range, so not really gonna do a whole lot. Alright, this should be over.
Yes, Commander.
Actually, Stargazer, go get some revenge. I know that's not who not hit you, but
On the move.
there we go. Alright.
Reporting.
Okay, all targets eliminated, we're done.
Mission successful.